Hey guys, welcome to Digit.in, and before we get into our review of the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to press that bell icon so you're notified when we upload a new video. Now, this Xbox Elite Series 2 controller is a premium priced controller and it is launched during the fag end of the Xbox's life cycle. But fear not, the biggest advantage is the fact that it is going to be compatible with the upcoming Xbox Series X console as well. So if you're planning on picking this one up now, know that it has longevity. If you plan to switch to PC gaming, know that it is compatible with the PC as well. You no longer need that little extra dongle you had to get with an Xbox controller during the first generation of the controller, simply because this has Bluetooth connectivity. Now, setting this up with your console is as simple as literally pressing the sync button on the controller itself and pressing the sync button on your console, and you are good to go. A great thing about this controller is that it has built-in battery. Microsoft claims that it has a battery life of about 40 hours, and I can tell you that it goes way beyond 40 hours. Maybe 40 hours is a conservative number, maybe if you use all the bangs and whistles, but I have used this controller by customizing a few of the controls and regularly, and 40 hours is a piece of cake. The built-in battery takes a couple of hours to charge. You do have a little LED indicator out here to know that it's charging. You also get a really long cable in the box as well. And there is one disadvantage that I have to tell you about. Now, I have a standard, simple to use USB-C cable already connected to my console. So I just remove the charging dock, plug it in right here like this, and just put the controller on this when I need it to charge. I only use the case if I need to carry the controller. However, if you plan to charge the controller while keeping it inside the box, which is very possible because there is a little housing right out here, you lift up this flap and you got to put the USB cable right in. This is the only cable I have that actually fits in here, and that is because the depth out here is something that other USB cables can't seem to penetrate because they are thicker out here, which prevents them from getting into the housing really easily. If you're someone that has a bunch of USB Type-C cables lying around, you're going to have to really check which one fits the size, because I think this is a little smaller than the standard cables that I have lying around. But nonetheless, like I said, I only use this pouch to move things around, so it's not that big of a deal for someone like me. Coming over to the ergonomics, you do have this really nice textured grip all around the controller, and it feels very premium in your hand. I mean, partially, I think I have been playing more on my Xbox than any other piece of gaming hardware that I have, simply because I get to use this, and that's actually a testament to how good the controller is. It feels heavy, it feels premium, it feels worth every penny that you've paid for it, and that's without getting into any of the customizations right now. It's just purely if you use it as a simple controller. Let's though get into the customization. Like I said, you have the textured grip all around. This time, the previous generation series controller, it was only at the bottom, which was kind of a bummer, but this one, it's right there. In 3 months of use, you can see the amount of wear and tear that it has. It's absolutely minimalistic, and that's also because I take care of the controller, but otherwise it can sustain some rough gaming sessions that have happened. Kicking things off, again, comparing it to the previous generation controller, you now notice that there are 3 levels of trigger customization as to how much depth it can take. So at full depth, it's, as you can see, then you have a midway point, you have a midway point, which is kind of a half press, and then if you wanted to act like a shoulder button, it's right there. That is not the only customization. You do have these pedals as well, which come, and they are more suited to work the way they are. So if you plan on interchanging the smaller pedal with the bigger pedal, it's not the most ideal scenario, because it kind of doesn't feel that, you see what I'm saying? They have designed it in a manner which means that you better get used to the fact that the small pegs are on the top and the longer pegs are going to be at the bottom. This is a change from the previous generation and might be a bummer for those that liked the longer triggers up top. It's a really small niggle to have, but it is one nonetheless, because when you get to grips with it, you actually do have 2 fingers that sit perfectly well out here, and once you get used to this, you really can't go back to anything else because it just works. Now, speaking of these pedals at the back, you do have 3 profiles that you can set. Long press the middle button, all the lights will go off, and it's the default profile, but if you keep pressing them one after the other, you will set it to different profiles. Now, these profiles can only handle the button mapping, be that for the back buttons, and also you can control the face buttons as well with the different profiles that you want. To set the sensitivity of the triggers or even the analog sticks is something that you have to do manually each time, and that's where this key comes in, because you simply just plonk it in here and you get 3 different levels of sensitivity. So there's 1 twist, 2 twist, and it comes back to normal. And this sensitivity is simply the amount of push that the trigger needs, that the analog stick needs to get into position. So right now it is at the lightest and then it goes heavier. Now this is great for shooting games. So if you are, let's say, taking the role up of a sniper in Gears 5 and you need that precise sensitivity of the right stick, you can tune it to be a little harder while using the left stick soft enough to run around. Similarly, for a racing game like Forza, if you need the right trick to be slightly more rigid, slightly more to give you a feedback every time you race, you can tune it to be a little tighter. Same for the left one. It really works well to be able to customize that level of experience. The standard button array layout is the same. One other thing to notice is that you don't get the soft mushy power button anymore. You get this firm button kind of a power button right now. It's a really small change, but it's one that you will really start appreciating, especially if you go back to an older controller after this one. What else can I tell you about the Elite Series 2 controller that I haven't already told you? Well, the fact is that it is really expensive and definitely targeted at those that are pro gamers. So if you are going to make use of these buttons, there are various situations I can tell you about where these pedals come in handy a lot and they make a lot of sense and you can't go back. So for example, a game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you use the left trigger, the left shoulder button to initiate either your arrows capabilities with your bow and arrow or some special abilities, it is much easier to map some of the face buttons to the pedals at the bottom, because once you have your 4 fingers out here and you don't want to lift your thumbs above the analog sticks for whatever reason you're performing a move, just the ability to tap some of these buttons with your fingers at the bottom is just a godsend. It's no wonder why other controller makers are also planning a similar array from the get-go. Having said that, like we have said, this is compatible with the next consoles as well, and the biggest con is of course the fact that you can't get this cable to fit into the housing as well. Now there have been reports that I have read which talk about the fact that the face buttons have been getting stuck and not working. In my experience, I have just had one of the face buttons not respond literally once, and I don't know if that was my error of not pressing it hard enough or it didn't register the input. I have absolutely no idea, but of all the feedback that I have read online about the buttons not responding or getting stuck is something that I haven't actually really experienced or have a problem with. So there you have it, guys. That was our review of the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. As always, you can let us know what you thought of this review in the comment section below. Do you have this controller? Do you like it? Do you want it? Are you planning on getting one? You can always let us know and we'll have a great conversation about it. And for more from the world of technology, you can subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you are notified every time we upload a new video. That's me, Samir, signing off, and I will catch you in another video. It's goodbye for now.